Okay, we are going to look at an example here, and we've done a lot of different kinds of integrals so far this semester, and we're going to do some more even. So it's important to pay attention to the notation to note what kind of integral it is you're doing. So we are doing a line integral. And in fact, we are doing a work integral. Even though this problem says nothing about work, this integral is of the form m dx plus n dy plus p dz, which is the form of a work integral. And in this case, our vector field f would be yz plus 1, that's the m function, xz plus 2, and xy plus 3. So it's important to recognize that you're doing a work integral because we have some theorems that can be helpful with work integrals. So the first thing I might check when I'm doing a work integral, especially in R3, would be to see if I have a conservative vector field. And the way that we talked about doing that was checking to see if the curl vector is 0. And so we can set up the matrix for the curl vector, but one of the things I often do when I'm checking this is I'll just write the del del x, del del y, and del del z right above my vector field equation, and then I can just imagine that top row of that matrix and I can do all of my derivatives that I need to do. So the curl vector, in the I component we will have the partial derivative with respect to y of xy minus 3, and then minus the partial derivative with respect to z of xz plus 2. And then in the j component I will do partial derivative with respect to x of my p function minus partial derivative with respect to z of my m function, and don't forget the minus sign out front. And then for my k component for my curl vector, I'll do partial derivative with respect to x of my n function minus partial derivative with respect to y of m. And indeed, we get the 0 vector, so that tells us that yes, we do have a conservative vector field. It would be important also to notice that all of my partial derivatives and the second partial derivatives and all of the partial derivatives of all orders, in fact, are continuous everywhere. That significantly simplifies the work that I need to do on this problem. And in fact, for part B, noticing that our curve is closed, I can actually just write down the answer for part B. So the answer will be 0 since f is conservative and c is closed. So for part A, I will need to do a little bit more work because I don't have a closed curve. But one way I can do this is by using a potential function and evaluating the potential function at the terminal point, 0, 1, 2, minus the potential function at the initial point, 4, 0, 3. So I just need to find my potential function. Remember that when you find that potential function, you're undoing those partial derivatives that would have been found when you create our vector field f from the gradient of some scalar function little f. So we're going to undo the partial derivative with respect to x in the first component. So when I integrate yz plus 1 with respect to x, I will get xyz plus x. Notice I didn't really write out an integral. I just looked at that first component function in my vector field and I found an antiderivative with respect to x. And then when I look at my j component function and I find an antiderivative of that with respect to y, I will get xyz, which I already have, so I don't need to write that again. And then I will also get a term 2y. And then when I find the antiderivative of my last term with respect to z, I will get xyz, which I already have, and then I will get another term plus 3z. So there's my potential function, and now I just need to evaluate that at 0, 1, 2, and at 4, 0, 3, and subtract those two values. Okay, so there is my answer for part A, that work integral, and I didn't really even have to set up a line integral and do it. I used fundamental theorem of line integrals, so if we want to say what theorem we're using, we should probably write that. And the other thing to notice about this is that work is negative, so that means that the vectors in the vector field would be more against the path of the motion for part A than with the path of the motion. I might have some with and some against the path of motion, but overall I have more against than with the motion, just remembering what the answer to a work integral describes.